quantum entanglement and all these things that we're just kind of beginning to understand now. But
dipping the toe in, aren't we?
yeah, absolutely. But, you know, I mean, I've been involved with the Heart Math Institute for a long time now, 10, 12 years. And, you know, and just understanding, you know, even the stuff that they were talking about back in the day around heart intelligence, like it's all starting to come to, like the science is all backing that up now. And whereas back then it probably seemed a little bit kind of, you know, hippy dippy or something, but now it's all, you know, backed up by science. And not only that, if you go back to the shamans 60,000 years ago, they were saying the same things as well. So, you know, they didn't know about our indigenous culture right beneath our feet in the very soil we live in. They didn't understand quantum, but they totally understood quantum.
Exactly. They got it without getting
exactly.
it. And even I studied Chinese medicine 15, 20 years ago, and they have this concept of heart mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. The heart mind. Absolutely. You know, and that's,
and it's, of course, you're like, of course. Of course,
that's all. That's all coherence is. It's just the signaling between the heart and the mind. You know, it's just having a clear signal. You know, and understanding that it's the heart which is the precursor to experience. It's, you know, as we wherever we go, we're just a frequency interaction with our environment. You know, and the signals arrive in the heart, and the heart then translates those and sends signals to the brain, and then there's a thought. So, you know, this is why with the heart mind, we're getting in behind thought. You know. And to me, that's just such a beautiful process and a beautiful thing to consider. And for me, that's meditation. You know, we talk about mindfulness, but I actually think it's more heartfulness if we're really getting to the truth of the matter.
Now we're getting deep.
Well, you know, the Chinese the Chinese word for mindfulness, when you look at the character, it actually means bringing the heart to the present.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that's you know, or similar to that. It's got a heart-paced quality to it, you know. So yeah, I think I'm all for this kind of Western idea of mindfulness, but I think there's a step before that, and it's related to the center of your chest.
And maybe that's where we miss the point a little bit in and around mindfulness, that it's a quality of thought or thoughtfulness rather than anything else.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, and you know, a lot of men's work is really just an 8-inch journey, isn't it? From there to there, and I'm pointing at my heart. You know, it's like the whole hero, you know, the whole hero's journey is really just 8 inches. It's just that you got to go to the end of the world and struggle and go to the depths of your sorrow and everything to figure that out. You can't do it from home.
80,000 kilometers to move 8 inches.
That's exactly it, you know, and you know, the basis of a lot of all the old myths, that's essentially the story plot. You know, man, hero, goes out into the world, has all these trials and tribulations, and then comes back home a different person because he's moved that 8 inches. And then he, you know, gives that gift of knowledge away that, hey, look, you know, this is what you need to do. But every person has to go out. You've got to go out into the world to figure that out. You can't do it sitting on a meditation cushion. You can point at it. You can point at it, but it's got to be lived.
Yeah, there's something for the experience of it rather than thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever it is.
Yeah, there's a lovely old Jewish myth called Isaac's Dream, which is such a beautiful story that wraps it up so fantastically. But essentially, you know, our hero keeps having a dream, and in the dream he gets told that there's a great treasure outside a castle under a bridge, you know, a long way away, and he resists going, and he thinks of all the reasons why he shouldn't go, but eventually he goes. And he gets there, and it's guarded by the king's guards. He can't get to the area which he was told to dig in his dream to go and find the gold. And eventually one of the guards comes up to him and says, you know, you've been here every day, man, you know, what are you doing? And he says, well, and he tells him about the dream. And the guard says, you know, you're a silly fellow, you know, listening to dreams like that. He said, if I listened to my dreams, I'd be telling you that I would meet this man one day. And I'd be telling him that there's a treasure back in his own home, and it's behind his hearth, his fireplace, and all he has to do is dig behind there, and all the treasure's there. And the man says, thank you very much. Goes home, goes behind, digs in, and there's the treasure, right, in his own home. But he had to go all the way out to the edges of the world to find that information out to come back. You know, and the interesting thing about that story is hearth is a heart word. You know, it's the central place in the home, as it was, right in the center of the house. And hearth, heat, heart, they're all part of the same word. So it's essentially, it's a story back to your own heart, you know. And interestingly enough, the Roman word for hearth was focus.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So the focus was the fire in the center of the home. So focus is also a heart word, you know, around clarity and these types of things. So it all, this is why when we get into the myth of it all starts to make sense.
It strips away all of the thinking about the thinking about the thinking about the thing. And you've just got
Correct.
the thing.
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, the journey is really to, you know, look deeply into the hearth, your own, and focus.